Okay, we are recording, and I am going live on Facebook now and doing the New Testament as well, because I believe it's imperative to, and that is there is enough in the gospel, if it's taught right, for people to make it in. And get their salvation just from the Gospels. It sure can. It's enough, but it helps to know really what we're talking about, because in these days, in the last days, there are scoffers. So the number one thing that we can do to help our Father in this final generation is to know His Word and to be able to give it freely as it has been given to us. So having said that, we are in Genesis chapter 10 in this study, and we are at the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japeth, and what happened to them, where they went, what their line was, what their destinies were, and I'm not going to take you through all of the exhaustive begats of these. We have covered a bunch of them. We've reinforced over and over why they are here, and it is necessary, and reason being is for proof. It is for proof, so that if those who doubt, so that they can go back through and wear themselves out in this genealogy, in this bloodline, and I've traced it back a lot, and each one of these names you can go into, and they have very significant meanings, and the children of these three are the are the fathers, the ancestors of the Christian nations of today, who has been taught for the last 1,000 years are those who have not had a chance up until that point. Many parts of Asia, China, and Mongolia, Christianity was not accepted real casually there, but it has made it in, and this gospel has now been published around the whole earth, even in the corners, the dark corners that was hard to get to, that Paul ran out of. We'll see if you come with me in the New Testament. You'll see that Paul and the apostles, some of them, they had to leave Asia because they turned the heat up so much that it was about to kill them all. So anyway, I'm getting off course here, and don't mean to, but I'm not going to. The thing is I'm not going to take you through all of the exhaustive names of the begats of Shem, Ham, and Japeth. But what I had done is wrote down some really key names and a couple of notes for chapter 10 here, and what we really need to take from it to move forward, and still not cheap, really. We're going to cover this, but bear with me here. So I just haven't decided exactly how we'll do that. I think I'll start out with verse 1 of chapter 10, and we're going to hit through it. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japeth. Remember, they was not born in that order. Ham was removed from his position. And unto them were sons born after the flood. there are many takes from Asia and other places of this flood. It is recorded. I personally do not believe that everyone on the planet died during it. That's neither here nor there. So that's just what I believe. The sons of Japeth. This is how the Bible will flow. We'll go with Japeth first, because really he was, So from him came Gomer, and there will be a city from him, Magog. Everyone loves Revelation, so we've heard of Gog and Magog. And so it is. You will have a guy by the name of Tubal, and a lot of music will come through him. Tarshish, 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 came from Japeth, and it was a giant shipping yard is what it became famous for later on. We'll see even up until Rome. So yes, this is a history book, and let me see if I can kind of stay with myself here. And after each one of these, the reason I'm going to say this is because the way that I teach the Tower of Babel, and we're coming up on that. We're coming up on the Tower of Babylon, the beginning of it, and so we're gonna remember who that came from, who confusion was began by. So yes, moving forward, the children of Ham. Okay, let me go back. This is the point I was going to make of the Tower of Babel. After each one of these boys, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, after it gives their genealogy, it will say, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands. The isles of the Gentiles was divided by Japheth's children, every one after his tongue, after their families and their nations. Okay, let's go forward with the sons of Ham. From Ham, a lot of questionable characters will come from Ham, as you will see if you're familiar with the Bible. From Ham came Cush, 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 and also Phut, Phut, Sheba. Out of Ham also came Nimrod. Nimrod began to be a mighty hunter in the world, and from him, his city that he began to build was called Babel. So from Nimrod, who was a mighty man, Nimrod was not. These people were not all the way just men yet. They are still living for a lot of years, and Nimrod was a mighty man. He was what we would call a demigod today, if you would. And again, he began to build Babel. Asher came from Ham. Nineveh, the Philistine, the Jebusite, the Amorite, the Girgasite, the Hittite, Hivites. So these people came from Ham. So you can see the nature of the way that they came about. And Jonah preached to Nineveh, and Christ spoke of how evil this place became, even in New Testament. So the Canaanites, they spread abroad, and their borders were from Sidon to Gaza, Gaza, you've got to be familiar with that. The Gaza Strip, they still fight for this place today. Again, this is a history book. And the border, also the Canaanites' border, was all the way from there to Sodom and Gomorrah, whenever it was a place. And so on we'll go. I'm going to leave off here. I believe that will cover pretty much. Let me do Shem's bloodline, and hopefully I won't have to go back and do all this over again. Again, after it gives Ham's line and the things they've done, it says, "These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations." Alright, so let's go on and do Shem. Shem has some pretty good people come out of him. I think that's why he doesn't get probably the attention that the other guy does. From Shem, you will have Eber, you'll have Elam, which will eventually become Russia. As you go down to Uz, we will get to that. On Faxad, he was a great king. Joktan was also a great. He built great cities. All these people. Jobab. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and end this in chapter 32 of chapter 10. Really rushing through this. I know I am, but we're not going to skip anything. These are all relevant. There's none of it that is not. And the way this will end again is, these are the families of the sons of Noah after their generations in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. So, yes, this is the going about of Adam after the flood. Remember, Cain and Adam split they split thousands of years ago. Okay, there are millions of people in the world, or was at this time before this flood. We're coming out of it now and building back, and men have begun to populate the world again. And I'll get into chapter 11 next time. I spent 13 minutes on a chapter in Genesis on genealogy. That's not bad. You can say you kind of took a crash course in it, and I'm not skipping much. God does not love any one people more than he loves another. Alright? He does not. Christ would, really what we're doing is, God is being able for the doubter to keep track of where this Christ came from. This is proof. What this is proof for the doubter, for those who doubt. You can, again, you can go back to this genealogy I have, and you will find that it all adds up. You cannot prove it wrong. So we'll get to what we're on our way to Abraham, into some familiar territory, and some things that are going to be really enjoyable for you. But this has to be done. It is important. None of God's word is okay to be really left out. Some of it's harder to deliver than others. Prayers are appreciated, and love you guys. Prayers for all of you. I know there's a ton of needs out there, but I'm not going to spend 5 minutes. Everyone is important, and everyone's lives and families matter to me. I appreciate you all because you come here and you read God's Word with me. And thanks for coming back. Godspeed.